Today on the Toppy Show, Trump's first tweet in months is an epic campaign ad as he gets back onto X Twitter. Secret Service broke into a salon during a Kamala rally, used the bathroom, and even covered up the cameras. And apparently, even left the business with the doors unlocked. Elon on the dangers of woke AI go viral. Cisco lays off thousands of employees as they shift to AI. Rivian lost $32,000 per EV. The Dodge Charger EV has a Frunk package that will cost about $5,000. And the Nissan Ariya is being recalled due to a software error. All of that and much more on The Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day, guys. He's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, see that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now going over to the business part podcast, you have Cisco laying off thousands of employees as they shift to AI just days after Dell announced this, which comes as no too much of a surprise, and so they're very similar companies. Now, granted, Cisco is known overwhelmingly for enterprise networking solutions, aka, you have your switches, you have wireless access points, or as the rap song calls them, the WAPs, and of course they do AI as well. They sprinkle in, Cisco knows they do a lot of security. Dell more known for servers. They've got their storage, they got their laptops. I know they do many other things, but that's a core of what many people perceive them as, and a lot of what we see them in terms of revenue. Now, with Cisco, they have the largest market share in the industry, bar none, from networking technologies. Especially, again, this is more of a business-to-business product. Most businesses will buy Cisco for their infrastructure, for their networking. However, consumers don't see the technology too much unless they like to play I Spy when they go to retail establishments like myself and look up the ceiling and wonder, where's access point do they use in here? Which, granted, you could just scan the room with an app, but where's the fun in that? But nevertheless, getting back to the Reuters article, this actually come to us thanks to Yukar Shiti and Supana, who's a writer over there. And here we go. They say, quote, exclusive, Cisco lay off thousands more in second job cut this year. There you can see their iconic Cisco logo. And they say, quote, Cisco will cut thousands of jobs in the second round of layoffs this year as the U.S. networking equipment manufacturer shifts focus to higher growth areas, including cybersecurity and AI. People familiar with the matter said, which they probably also need to cut costs since they paid $20+ billion for Splunk, which I don't want to say it's the biggest waste of money on the planet, but they paid a premium for what was the industry leader for decades in terms of log technologies, and yet they were on the downfall. And most businesses are getting rid of it. So it's very strange that they bought it. Granted, they'll probably take that technology and spruce it and throw it in everything they use. But again, that was a $20+ billion purchase. So they got to cut costs to kind of make up for that as well. And I guess it does make sense. I want to shift to more cybersecurity and AI, which again, Cisco has, they do have firewalls again, which I always joke they're free because if you buy a whole data center worth of Cisco networking gear, they usually toss in firewalls for free. But nevertheless, they also have, everyone knows their firewalls. The ASAs are infamous. And they do have a lot of endpoint security, and they have other security solutions as well. Now, they say that, quote, the number of employees affected with the matter could affect about 4,000 employees, which was very similar to the layoff of 4,000 employees they had in February. Yeah, oh yeah, they actually said they paid $28 billion for Splunk. So I was right, high 20s billion for Splunk, which again, most businesses were ripping out left and right because it costs so much, and the more you use it, the more it costs, and the competitors, they're not doing that as much, or in some cases at all, depending on their business models. So this kind of adds to the tech layoffs. They say in the article that over 126,000 people have been laid off, 393 companies since the start of this year in the tech industry, which again had been booming for years, partially pushed up by the pandemic. Because again, when you had a shift where everyone's working from home, that means businesses had to utilize new and different technologies even more. It was very unfortunate. Hopefully there's some folks out there that are able to find gainful employment in one of the two competitors. I only partially kid because when it comes to networking solutions, you have Cisco, you have Hewlett Packard Enterprise in Aruba, which I'm a little biased. I used to work there. Now I just resell and maintain and deploy those types of solutions, including Cisco. Then you have Juniper, which actually HPE was buying. So realistically, you have Cisco, Hewlett Packard Enterprise Aruba, Extreme Networks, I guess, Arista Networks for like a core, and then for small companies, you do have Ubiquity, but there's not a lot of big networking manufacturer options. Now that being said, most people in IT, most people in general, are able to take those skill sets and translate it to a new solution or take that into a new company. So hopefully none of the people laid off are employed for too long. They will find gainful employment of one of the other tech companies that is growing right now. But a little disappointing news, and we'll see what the future holds for Cisco this coming year. Other interesting business news, Rivian lost $32,000 for every EV they sold, which sounds terrible. It is. But they're slightly moving in the right direction, and they better be thanking their lucky stars that they had Volkswagen and Saudi Arabia propping them up. Oh no, I'm thinking of Lucid. They're the one that's propped up by Saudi Arabia's largest insurance pension fund. Yeah, with Rivian, they got the, what was it, $5 billion investment, quote, quote, from Volkswagen, which, yeah, Rivian was, they were at risk of running out of money this year, so they desperately needed that investment. Now, this is an article actually on Jalopnik, thanks to Owen Bellwood, who is a writer over there. I'm going to pull that up here. They say that, quote, Rivian is still losing more than $32,000 on every EV sold. Plus, Tesla rolled out a fix to more than 1.3 million cars. There you see one of the Rivian trucks being assembled or attempting to be assembled, which, I'm a little biased. I do like the green color. I'm a sucker for a good green car. Now, they say that, quote, oh, geez Louise, added up a lot in the aggregate. They lost $1.46 billion this fiscal quarter. Now, they say, quote, it's been a tough time to be an electric manufacturer with competition across the board, uptake not matching predictions, and price wars across the sector hurting profits. Now, the extent of the hit has become clear for the American EV maker Rivian, which just posted latest losses. The electric truck and SUV builder posted losses of more than $1.4 billion for the last 3 months, reported by Automotive News said. The deficit follows similarly eye-watering losses for the first 3 months of this year, means that through 2024 has been losing money hand over fist in every car it sells. In fact, the automaker loses more than $32K on every EV that rolls off the production line in Normal, Illinois. Or if you grew up in Illinois, if you're from the Midwest, you know it's actually pronounced Illinois. But yeah, if I was an investor, I'd be pretty irate. Why are you selling cars in the middle of one of the highest taxed places on the planet? Go to Iowa. Go somewhere else. Go Illinois. Why? But nevertheless, I guess you could say it's a pretty normal place to be. Pun obviously intended. They named the city that. Nevertheless, they say, quote, for the first quarter, Rivian reported net loss again over $4 billion. And wow, for the calendar year 2023, they lost $5.4 billion, which is not great. Now, actually, pull it up here. They say that the losses have hit the automaker's cash reserves, with Rivian reporting it's sitting at $5.8 billion in cash compared to $7.9 billion that it held at the end of 2023. The hit came as a result of losses for the automaker despite the 9% increase in sales compared to the same time period last year. Despite shifting 13,790 vehicles in April and June 2024, profits were still hurt by the retooling required for the factory, which also caused a short-term shutdown. And of course, they say despite the path burn, Rivian is on the path of profitability. Yeah, they say that at a June investor event, partially because they got $5 billion from Volkswagen Group, which they say they're going to start making, electric architectures for Volkswagen for all 18 people who want that. So it'll be interesting to see how Jalopnik, or rather the writer of the article, how Rivian actually keeps this up. Because again, I don't know. Personally, I've never bought an EV, partially because the best cars always have 3 pedals, also known as a manual transmission, also known as the most fun you'll ever have driving, bar none. And also with a gas car, you actually have your friends or Bob down the street work on it and maintain it. And the EVs, you're kind of stuck with the one manufacturer. It's also disposable; won't last 300,000 miles like a good old Toyota or a Honda with an ICE engine. But I partially digress. There, a lot of people appreciate the luxury of the EV, and they think it'll be great for them. Which again, if you don't have to worry about replacing the battery or long-term investment, perhaps. But you also have, record high number, ridiculously mind-boggling record high interest rates for cars as well, and also down economy. So we'll see if they can pick up their sales figures this year, and Maybe they'll get to maybe they'll become profitable someday soon. Again, even Ford's losing. Oh, Ford's losing money. It's almost comical. Ford lost $132,000 per EV Q2. So again, most companies are losing money hand over fist with EVs. They're becoming slowly more profitable. I mean, Tesla, I think, is the only one that's really making a profit. And that took them years. So again, they're on the right path, but this still a tall order. And again, not financial advice by any means. But let me know, would you ever buy Rivian? I have seen one or two on the road. Don't know anyone who's bought one yet, but let me know what your thoughts are. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting business news, the new Dodge Charger EV Frunk is part of a package that will cost $5,000, which I suppose is good marketing because it has us talking about it, but it is also ridiculous because, I mean, $5,000, can't help but think, for $5 or less, you could probably go to a good old Home Depot and just get a good orange bucket, toss that into the spare space into the frunk of the car. And there you go. You saved $4,995. I mean, what deal do you think is best? I'm only partially kidding. Now, this comes to us by Colin Woodward, who's again a writer over at Jalopnik. There you could, I don't know if you want to see this. I mean, it's the Dodge Charger Daytona EV. But, oh, my eyes, they burn. Just feel like they could have done so much better with the design. Now, they say, quote, Dodge Charger Daytona EV has a frunk, but will cost extra like everything else these days. You have to add the $4,995 package to get the trunk. I guess it's a deal. I thought it was $5,000. Well, you have to add the tyranny tax or the sales tax on top of that. Now, there you can see it really is just a piece of molded plastic they plopped in the frunk, which, again, my friends with 3D printers would have, I mean, they're going to have fun with this. Literally, you can print this. There's going to be one guy who just takes the Dodge Charger Daytona EV, Banana Falcon package, what do they call it, 3D scan it, and 3D print those. That seems like a good business model right there. And I'll let your eyes burn as I read the article. You can see the frunk. Now they say that, quote, the front trunk, otherwise known as the frunk, has been around so long it's old enough to have grandchildren. Frunks were just never very popular because were reserved for their mid and rear engine vehicles. With the advent of the EVs, though, there's no big engine taking up a ton of space, so it's common for EVs to have both regular trunk as well as a frunk. But this one will cost almost $5,000. And here you can see a little slightly better angle. Again, if I won the lottery, I would buy one of these just to do a good old engine swap, put a Hellfint powertrain in there, or get a good old Hemi with a stick shift. That'd be kind of nice. Now they say that, to be clear, Dodge isn't just selling this product as a standalone option, though again it makes for good clicks and headlines. So ironically, Dodge seems to be pretty good at advertising. This car has been in the news for the past couple of days. I mean, not for good reasons, but it is in the news. We're talking about it. Now they say that, quote, yeah, I say that instead the front will include, as part of a package, it will also include, among other things, a 16-inch infotainment system. Which, yep, when I think of when I'm going to the track or I'm having a fun driving experience, I always think I need a 16-inch infotainment screen. I mean, call me old-fashioned, but who gives a damn if it's supposed to be a sports car? But again, that's just me. Let me know in the comments. If you're buying a sports car, do you want a 16-inch infotainment? Do you give a damn? I mean, they used to be back in the day. I mean, you'd have these really, high-end Camaros. You'd have factory delete for nearly half. I mean, you'd have one speaker just because of law. Like, they get rid of the AC, they get rid of most of the infotainment system, they get rid of everything to reduce the weight of the vehicle, make it a fun track toy. This, however, seems to be the antithesis of that. Now, they say, quote, it'll also include cooled Fox leather seats, because we can never get real things these days. It's not real. And LED headlights. So let me get this. No, that can't be it. Really? Really? Maybe that's just me, but that seems anemic to say the least. So for $5,000, you get a Frunk, a 16-inch infotainment screen, fake leather, and LED headlights, which the cost of LEDs have dropped so much dramatically throughout the years. I'm astonished they even bother having regular lights at all, even for the base model. Just to reduce cost and complexity across all the trim levels of the vehicle, I would have thought they'd all have just LEDs by default. But of course they don't. So it's an interesting try to upsell people on this vehicle. I'm not sure how many people are going to buy it to begin with. And then, I mean, it just, I don't know. To me, I mean, I wouldn't go for it, but I mean, let me know in the comments. And again, that's list price. Lord knows only how, Lord only knows how much they're going to charge the dealerships for these options when they have this marked up the wazoo. But let me know, would you ever buy one in general? Would you buy a Dodge Charger EV? Then would you buy one with the Frunk package? Let me know in the comments. As always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Going over to the Culture Pod podcast, you have Elon on the dangers of AI being woke and one-sided. Now, this is brought to us thanks to, appropriately named, and Wokeness on X Twitter, in which he says, quote, Musk sounds the alarm on woke AI. Says, quote, if AI is programmed to prioritize diverse options, whites could eventually face extermination by an omniscient AI. Which, I mean, that is a great Scrabble word. Omnipotent. I played Scrabble a couple years. Underrated game. And granted, Elon sounds infinitely more better than me, so we'll go ahead and play that.
If you force AIs to lie or train them to lie, you're really asking for trouble, even if that lie is done with good intentions. So I mean, you saw sort of issues with ChatGPT and Gemini and whatnot. Like you asked Gemini for an image of the founding fathers of the United States, and it shows a group of diverse women.
True. I'll put that on the screen for New York Minute there. Yeah, it was when that first came out, it was fascinating and hilarious. Just pretty much not even close to being historically accurate. And I mean, we went viral on social media. Everyone was starting to use the AI images for that. And you have here George Washington is apparently an African American man. He was hanging out with a Native American, I don't know, African American, Native American woman. That's something you don't see every day.
Now that's factually untrue. Now that's sort of like a silly thing, but if an AI is programmed to say like diversity is a necessary output function, and then it becomes this omnipowerful intelligence, it could say, okay, well, diversity is now required, and if there's not enough diversity, those who don't fit the diversity requirements will be executed. If it's programmed to do that as the fundamental utility function, it will do whatever it takes to achieve that. So you have to be very careful about that. That's where I think you want to just be truthful. Rigorous adherence to truth is very important. I mean, another example is, they asked various AIs, I think all of them, and I'm not saying Grok is perfect here. Is it worse to misgender Caitlyn Jenner or global thermonuclear war? And it said, it's worse to misgender Caitlyn Jenner. Now, even Caitlyn Jenner said, please misgender me. That is insane. But if you've got that kind of thing programmed in, it could, the AI could conclude something absolutely insane. Like,
especially if they control the nukes and the weapons like in Terminator, which used to be just science fiction, but is becoming more and more reality.
It's better, in order to avoid any possible misgendering, all humans must die, because then the misgendering is not possible because there are no humans. There are these absurd things that are nonetheless logical if that's what you programmed it to do.
Yep. Good thing that can never happen. Well, wait. Yeah, it's fascinating to see what tech can be both a tool, an asset, and a threat all at the same time. Now, this one didn't go as far as I thought. Got 200,000 views, 4.5 thousand likes. The first one's coming from Gunther Eagleman, saying, quote, he's spot on. Shit has to stop, being 117 likes. You have Sassafras84, where she says, quote, he's right. I'm having this battle tonight. I talked about the civil rights movement, but apparently it was only for blacks, yet Coke can have policies about how to be less white. We are in trouble when race is targeted as heavily as it is now. It isn't just whites. Asians are not considered white because they aren't dark enough. Unreal. Unquote, getting 69 likes, which, yeah, Harvard got sued a couple times for that. Paul Zupa says AI programmed by woke people will be exactly what you would expect, getting 42 likes. Let's see. Rhinos X says the left wants full control of the narrative. You have the NPC cartoons, or not the NPC, the cartoons of the leftists with the, well, kind of cliche to say, but the pink and blue hair. And they say, quote, we want to use AI to create our future. And then Elon says, or it's a picture of Elon, the text says, then why are you using it to rewrite the past? Getting 17 likes. Libercrat Media TM says, unreal. Picture of white family says, white people, the only race you can legally discriminate against. Getting 51 likes. And yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah. Previously, Liberal says, as a tool, like AI becomes more ubiquitous, it's terrifying to think the ability to explicitly or even subliminally manipulate the narrative to literally control everything based on the creator's input. Getting 10 likes. Also, fact check true. AKA simply says extermination gave 15 likes. Someone did a Photoshop where they have the Power Rangers, and it's in the black, blue, and pink and white uniforms. It says black power, blue power, pink power, and then the one of the white suits has an error says you can no longer use Gemini AI or its features. Getting 3 likes, which is fascinating how every other race is allowed to have pride. Which sadly enough, I only got to celebrate half as much because I'm only half Hispanic, but nevertheless, it'll be interesting to see if this is a big topic. Culturally speaking, I think more and more people are starting to realize that the issues of having programming that's only really created by one side of the political aisle, one side of the cultural aisle. I think it's quite concerning when you see places like Google where they have like 99.99% of political donations going to one side of the political aisle. It doesn't really bode well for office atmosphere, or the things they're creating are going to be inherently biased. But will the average person realize this is an issue? Do you think this is a cultural issue that will really become viral and more and more people will care about? Let me know in the comments. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the political part podcast, earlier this week, you had Trump's first tweet in months is an epic campaign advertisement as he is back on the X Twitter. Now, this comes to, of course, hashtag real Donald Trump on X Twitter. And it's not too long. It's only about 2.5 minutes, but if you told his voice is infinitely better than mine, we'll go ahead and play that without too much further ado.
Trump has left the building.
Over. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. Donald Trump wins the presidency. What started off as unlikely, impossible, is now reality.
I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down.
We have a president who actually fulfilled the promises he made during the campaign. Securing the border to foreign policy.
He now has a record as president that's pretty damn impressive.
Breaking news out of Palm Beach,
The FBI has executed an unprecedented search warrant at President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Former president has.
And never forget they had use of deadly force authorized during that. We were just trying to get his files.
Both sides of the political aisle up in arms.
This is a dangerous and unstable moment in American history.
The Justice Department has just indicted former President Donald Trump.
For 7 years, they hated him, they targeted him, they hunted him.
This is the epitome of the abuse of the prosecutorial power to preempt political decisions.
I never thought anything like this could happen in America. The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. They're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way, and I will never be moving. On November 5th, 2024, justice will be done. We will take back our country, and we will make America great again. America will always rise to every challenge and overcome every danger.
Donald Trump seems to always get stronger when challenged. These types of things, I think, give him strength.
When I'm reelected, I will totally obliterate the deep state. As long as we have pride in our beliefs, courage in our convictions, and faith in our God, then we will not fail.
Novel music. I'm not sure. Wish they did. Wish they gave credits to the specific composer and the band that played it. Great music. Got 9.3 million views the first couple hours of posting and 257,000 likes. One of the first comments comes from Ed Wokus, who simply says he's back. It's the cliche. What was it? We should really know her by now. It's a girl who has a fashion acumen of like a cartoon character. This might sound a little redundant, but liberal girl with very short hair, glasses, and a beanie, and then is wearing like a dumpy raincoat. clearly not Alex kind of fashion like myself, who has one good suit that I wear on show. But nevertheless, I got 10,000 likes as the video of her from 2016 when Trump won and she just broke down and cried like a child. So legally she's an adult. Going down, you have Patriots win, saying next top the White House, save America, as Trump, the most iconic picture in history. Him holding a hand up in defiance after being shot. Or, more accurately said, him standing up defiantly after the Secret Service allowed him to be shot with their ineptitudes and or corruption. I'll let you decide in the comments. They got 3.1 thousand likes. Lives a TikTok, says fire emoji, getting 3.8 thousand likes. DC Drano says the king is back on X, 5.4 thousand likes, which, yeah, this is, Trump desperately needed to get back on X Twitter. Because again, if you look at all the movement, all the politics, there's so much, in terms of the recent focus, is all on Kamala, all on her VP with the stolen valor, which apparently they don't care about on the left, but it was all focusing on her, especially after they literally pushed Biden out of the way to prop her up in there. I mean, the news cycle changed to only focus on her, and Trump is so viral on social media, but he was only using Truth Social, which is great for all 18 people who enjoy the platform, don't get me wrong, but ever since Elon bought Twitter, now there's not really a big incentive mechanism to go to places like Truth Social, because again, Twitter basically doesn't do a modicum, even a fraction of the censorship that they used to. Now, DC Drano again says back on X, getting 5.4 thousand likes. Al Rugg says this is the first post on Donald Trump's account since August 2023, getting 4.9 thousand likes. So he's even longer than I thought. The Corey says, now we can officially say Trump has returned. Come on, Don, call someone a fat pig and make it official. And 1,000 likes. A contrarian statement, finally. Ed Krasenstein says, quote, remember when you claimed that you won the 2020 election and you actually lost LMFAO? 961 likes. Remember when Pennsylvania defied their own law and did all the ballot harvesting, which was illegal in their state, but they just did it anyway? Or was that the mail-in voting over there? A little bit of both. But that did get 961 likes. Let's see. Does anyone agree with him, or did he get ratioed? Alex says, no one cares what this page shield says, getting 115 likes. Hunter Allen says, remember when Hillary claimed that she won the 2016 election and she actually lost LMFAO, getting 62 likes? So, a couple memes saying cry harder. A picture of Trump flipping him off. So, Ed Krasenstein got a lot of likes, but he was ratioed by the number of comments that was responding to him. Tennis Fast 84 says, Trump is coming for you. It says, Harris Waltz, Marxist. MAGA versus Marxism. Getting 575 likes. Well, was it Keith Aloha? Who again is known for being a leftist, but I follow him because I want more contrarian statements. He simply says, pay your debts, billionaire, then you'll secure some venues. What? More. Got 224 likes though. See, Gunther Eagleman says, quote, we're back. We're getting the band back together. LFG got 3.9 thousand likes. Sarah Bull says, welcome back, Mr. President. If you support Trump, I want to follow you. Getting 368 likes. Tony simply says he's back, and it said as was it Trump in Mar-a-Lago with the gold round? It says life he had, and as Trump getting shot, he says life he chooses. 3.5 thousand likes. AKA says we're going to win this shit, boys, tonight. It's Trump and Elon AI picture of them dressed up as the Matrix characters, the good guys. Getting 1.5 thousand likes. Let's see. Alex's new profile picture is Trump with the American flag behind him after being shot with was it blue laser eyes, getting 6.3 thousand likes. AKA says God bless America and God bless Donald Trump, getting 455 likes. I love the Matrix one being redone. Overwhelming positive results. Again, we've had one contrarian statement thus far. There. See if there's any other contrarian statements. No? Oh. bad music, but someone did the video clip of him holding his fist up in defiance after being shot. Yeah. Yeah, this is... And again, he'll probably... I mean, inevitably, I'm pretty sure he'll piss off some people on X Twitter. But, oh yeah, this is a good question, actually. Art Candy, again, one of my favorite leftists, though her name is spelled Candy, spelled Candee, and she has emojis of a popcorn and water in a cup with a straw, which both are not considered candy. Almost as ridiculous as a name like Topping. Oh wait, I partially digress, but she did say, quote, keep posting, and then she has a screenshot of Trump Media Technology Corp going down 4.41% to $25.06 per share. Got 976 likes, which, yeah, inevitably, I think this will chisel away at the value of that stock. Again, that company has also not made a profit. I've been pretty skeptical about the actual stability of the business to begin with. I mean, and again, it's a growing social media platform, but the biggest value added Trump Media Group, or True Social, was a place where there's no censorship, you can speak your mind. As soon as Elon bought X Twitter, I feel like a lot of the big value that True Social had kind of evaporated. I'm not sure how... right now, it's not a sustainable business model. We'll see how they get to the path to profitability. Again, a lot of tech companies take years to get there, but I'm pretty skeptical, to say the least, on the future of True Social. So that being said, do you know anyone actually on the platform? Anecdotally, I know literally less than a handful that who utilize the platform. They do love it, but the same folks I talk to, the only reason they do it is so they can read Don's tweets, or in that case, posts or truths, before that someone posts it on X Twitter. So that is an interesting question. Let me know. Do you know anyone on True Social? Will they continue to actually log in after he just starts posting frequently on X Twitter? But yeah, definitely one of the biggest news in Twitter history. And oh yeah, I think definitely getting a lot of votes in the middle. It'll definitely, I think it'll help shift, culturally speaking. I think we'll get more people. Because again, I think it's more of a powerful impact. There are accounts who do just repost what Trump does on the platform. There's folks on X Twitter who already do that. But there's just something, straight from the horse's mouth, so to say. I think it's a little bit more compelling, a little more interactive. And unlike the competition, I'm pretty sure you can be pretty rest assured that it is Trump actually tweeting, whereas competition just uses handlers and staffers to actually post things on X Twitter, social media. But let me know, do you think overall this would be a net benefit to Trump in terms of the upcoming election, getting more votes? Or do you think, again, in years prior, he has alienated some folks and prospective voters with some of his comments? Let me know speaking of comments, let me know in the comments below. I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting political news, you have the Secret Service broke into a hair salon during the Kamala event and covered up the cameras, and apparently left the business unlocked. So they continue to be completely unethical, as well as, well, just overall terrible. I don't think we should be too surprised, though. Again, it's the Secret Service who allowed Donald Trump to be shot. Because, never forget, the head of the Secret Service, that gal, the former PepsiCo leader, she said they didn't have a counter sniper on the roof because of the slope of the roof. Which is again, also one of the funniest things is the other counter snipers, the slopes are greater on those roofs. Again, that was the worst excuse in history, and yet she's allowed to, not be prosecuted. She just quit. Ridiculous. Now, this comes to us on X Twitter, and it comes to us specifically from End Wokeness, which she says, quote, Secret Service broke into a Massachusetts hair salon during a Kamala event. They covered the cameras with duct tape and broke inside to use the bathroom. Let other attendees use the bathroom and took candies off the desk. They reportedly left the store unlocked and left the tape on for the rest of the day. That's why you know someone has absolutely no morals or values. Not only do they break into a business, but they take the free candy, which is really just complimentary if you're a client. Ridiculous. I was going to say, it's obviously worse than the unethical people who just go to Starbucks just to use that place as an office or sit down and don't actually buy a product or just go in there to use the bathroom. Common courtesy. If you're going to use a business establishment, again, they've got overhead up the wazoo, especially brick and mortar these days. Be respectful, actually, do the right thing. Now here you can see your average Secret Service representative. It's a gal, and again, is a screenshot of her trying to cover, and they do cover up the camera. Another sure sign of you're not doing the right thing. You're covering up cameras. Yeah. Here you can see a little video here. Oh, make that a little bit bigger. Unfortunately, Business Insider actually blurred their faces, so you can't see the criminals, unfortunately. Ridiculous. Or I guess we have to say alleged criminals. There you see one of the cows, Secret Service agents walking around. And there you can see, because again, they hire short, inept Secret Service agents. Remember, and never forget, one of the reasons Donald Trump was so vulnerable after he got shot, they tried to cover him up. One of the gals was too short. One gal was brave. She actually got it from Trump, but she was too short to cover him. Just, again, how we got that kind of picture. But for certain jobs, you had to have height requirement. I couldn't do it. I wish I was. You know what? Those were not part of the cards I was dealt in life. And here you can see she's picking up one of those wicker chairs, which probably pretty reinforced. So he's putting the chair down. He's standing up. Magic of tape. Jesus, why break your business? Now you can see they're inside the store. Two ladies stealing the candies. And they've had a couple of candies if you're just tuning in on the audio. Well, you're probably glad you can't see these villains.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Well, not surprising these days, let's be honest. But thankfully, we do have a picture of one of them. So if you know who that is, let us know in the comments if you've ever seen her before. No, knowing the Secret Service these days, she won't be fired. She'll actually just be reassigned somewhere else. Never forget, after Donald Trump was shot, no one was fired. The head of the Secret Service, voluntarily, she just resigned. No one was fired? They're just reassigned. The perfect example of government ineptitudes. Of all the jobs where you should be fired for your ineptitudes, having the former president shot? You have one job in life and you failed epically. It's ridiculous. A perfect example of how the public sector works. Absolutely garbage. Now, this one pretty well got 8.1 million views as well as 66,000 likes. Now, one of the first responses, again, she actually responded herself. Let's TikTok say, quote, Business Insider blurred the face of the Secret Service agent who covered the camera in the video. Anyone familiar with this know her? Is it up close of her? Ooh. And of course, Let's TikTok says, quote, the Secret Service is attempting to walk back the admission that they were involved. Yeah. Having it on camera doesn't help. Ash Loren says, will there be any accountability for breaking the law? Yeah, 3.1 thousand likes, and no, of course not. With this government these days, no. If anything, she'll get a raise for this. The other gal she'll get a raise for being brave and stepping on a chair and putting that tape up there, which is incidentally probably more exercise that she's gotten in the past couple months combined. But nevertheless, Old School Eddie says, "How can this be? The government cannot be allowed to do and take what they want." Getting 3.5 thousand likes. Yep, but they kind of do, unfortunately. One of the specific reasons we didn't like the British back in the day is because they would put soldiers into civilians' homes without compensation or a notification or anything like that. They just commandeered and took over. Known as tyranny, or modern America. You also have Jimmy saying, our government is out of control. Who thinks they have the right to do this? And why tape up the camera? Getting 2.8 thousand likes. Planet of Memes, though they did not respond in meme form. It's usually about a 50-50 shot with that account. This alleged Planet of Memes says, quote, people should be fined and arrested over this, getting 9.5 thousand likes. I thought I could make it 9.6. Nevertheless, Libs TikTok responded saying agreed. Planet of Memes also says, is this how the Secret Service conducts itself? Very easy to see how things went horribly wrong in Butler, Pennsylvania, getting 8.4 thousand likes. Libs TikTok responded saying DEI Secret Service, getting 5.7 thousand likes. You never forget the head of the Secret Service, that was their whole emphasis on the recruiting. Not qualifications or aptitudes or your resume of, a long, successful career. No, it's yeah, we want to have 30% of them to be women, and then they want to increase to 50. Which inevitably mean you will not get the best candidates if you're limiting people right off the bat, just based on their gender. On the best results, you take every single resume. Yeah, that's not what they did. Red Ray Press says, what is going on with the Secret Service and what were they hiding, getting 2,000 likes? Paul Zupa says, so when do the Secret Service agents get indicted? Getting 309 likes. It's sad that it is actually comical when we think of government accountability, where, I mean, yeah, these gals, they should be put in prison. They should be put in front of a court immediately so they can be prosecuted for breaking and entering into a business and stealing. Those candies are not cheap anymore these days. Inflation is hurting everyone. And yet they broke in, and then they left the business unlocked, and they covered up the camera. Like, I mean, you try doing that as a citizen. You'd be arrested in a New York minute if you're in a state like Texas. In California, they wouldn't do anything. But in most states with sensibility, you'd be prosecuted. Run Done Libs says, quote, also the Secret Service, and says, it's a little meme, it says, we investigated ourselves and cleared ourselves of any wrongdoing. Getting 2,000 likes, and yeah, that's sad but true. Faulty Goat says, how disgusting and unprofessional has the alien agency become, getting 2.5 thousand likes. To here. Base Electrician says, we can do whatever we want because we are the government, unquote. The exact opposite of the values that the country was founded on. Correct, getting 1.5 thousand likes. Don't Call Me Shirley, good account name, good throwback to The Airplane, one of the best movies in comedy. Said, quote, whoever this person is exactly what's wrong with the United States Secret Service and every federal agency, entitled, liberal, and corrupt. Getting 3,000 likes. Also, she's not very, well, I was going to say she's not very smart. Obviously, we know that. She walked up to a camera and then put a post-it or a tape on it. Like, the camera's going to catch you. One of the few good instances of perhaps having a cloud-based camera solution. Because again, if this just went only to a VCR in the back, like they did back in the day, the Secret Service would just take the VCR or tape and they'd throw it in the dustbin, as the British would say, or like we would say, would just, throw it in the trash. They got 3,000 likes. Species X says, I'm glad her face is exposed here. Business Insider hit her face, getting 233 likes. Kevin Smith says, good thing there wasn't a sloped roof, getting 924 likes. Here. So, yeah, will there be any accountability? I mean, if there is, I'll be very surprised. Who knows? Maybe by the time this video is rendered and uploaded, she'll already be fired for breaking into someone's house and stealing. I mean, probably not, but maybe. I mean, let me know in the comments. What do you think the odds are? Has it happened already, maybe? Let me know what your thoughts. As always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Nissan recalling the Ariya due to a software issue that causes the vehicle to just lose power and go slow and then stop. But EVs are great. Never forget, that's what we're told every single day of our lives. Now, this comes to us thanks to a writer over at Auto Evolution called Marcia. And, I mean, usually people want picture-in-picture, but in this case, you might not want to see it because you have to see a Nissan. I apologize. It's not even the good 400Z, but, all right, well, I'll show it. Oh, my eyes, it's a Astra EV SUV. They say, quote, Nissan recalls Ariya, which, who the hell named that, for software error causing loss of motive power, which, I mean, the car desperately needs, because anyone who's driving it surely does not have any motivation in life to actually drive it. They have to be dead inside. They say it is a inverter software error. And sure, let's torture ourselves and watch. We can look at the photos of it. Oh, well, let's see here. Terrible. I don't know who's designing that, but yeah. Not the best. Looks ridiculous. But we'll pull it up one more time. There you can see the ginormous EV SUV. I mean, don't get me wrong, some are designed well. This one certainly is not, both architecture-wise and technology-wise, as well as the outside. But now that our eyes are both are hurt, they'll say, I'll go to the article. Say, quote, the slow-selling Ariya has been hit with yet another safety recall, similar to recall number 23V657 from September 2023. The affected population of vehicles may experience loss of motive power due to software error. While driving at high speeds, oh, perfect. Okay, this actually won't affect any Nissans. That's all right. Okay. Only partially kidding. They say, wait, while driving at high speeds, the current sensor inside the high voltage battery may detect a gap in the current ripple frequency of the motors, The inverter software error affects both two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles. In the case of a mixed diagnosis, the power electronics box will take a proactive measure by cutting torque suddenly and without any prior warning. Wow. They say, quote, the described condition greatly increases the risk of a crash when a fail-safe mode engages. The instrument cluster display shows a malfunction indicator lamp and a warning message that reads EV system off. Lovely. Wow. They say, quote, the improved fail-safe protocols were introduced with the aforementioned safety recall number 23V657 from September 2023, which comprised 9,813 vehicles produced for the 2023 model year between June 17, 2022 and May 19, 2023, which 9,813 of those vehicles were produced? I'm shocked. Half of them have to be gathering dust. I don't know anyone's bought one of those monstrosities. Now, they do note, on this occasion, the Japanese automaker's U.S. division has issued a recall for 1,188 vehicles with build dates that range from September 8th, 2022 through May 8th, 2023. Now, they say the dealers are instructed to inspect and, if necessary, reprogram the inverter's power electronics box. The inspection should take around half an hour, whereas reprogramming could take up to 1.5 hours. The latter estimate applies to all-wheel drive vehicles with features two inverters. The part numbers for said inverters are no one cares, which, geez Louise. Now, if you want to find out if yours is affected, you can call Nissan, give them your VIN number, see if your Ariya is affected. For all the, I mean, statistically speaking, of all the people watching shows, there might be one person who has this. I'd be shocked if they did, but your friend might have it. And yeah, they say, of course, like all recalls, it's not going to cost you anything. Manufacturer's going to pay the dealership, the dealership will do the work. But, I mean, already a brand that is mostly a joke when it comes to reliability. I mean, the CVD transmissions will forever be one of the worst engineering blunders ever. Those things are a joke and they break pretty much immediately. But yeah, to have an issue with your EV as you try to lean more into EVs, and that's what Nissan wants to do as a business. They want to go all into it for all the people who want to buy an EV Nissan. And to have your SUV, which again, those are supposed to be well selling, one of the faster growing categories of vehicles. And yet you have an error which, while driving at high speed, just, oh, well, it turns off. So definitely not good, and that has to certainly be the business blunder of the day. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, giving me a thumbs up or thumbs down or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.